Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome into Celestial Oracle Code. So, today we have kind of an extended deep dive reading that we're going to go through. The guides, as you see, have me with all of the cards out here because I don't really know what we're going to pull from. And we're going to let kind of your spiritual teams and my spiritual team take the reins, and we're going to go from there. So, I've been called briefly to explain the difference in when we're channeling and we don't use the book, and then sometimes when we're called to use the book. So channeling is a more expansive way to get messages. No matter what comes through when I give a channeled message, it's going to be expansive or help you to align or elevate your experience in some way, right? Through either an action or a new embodiment, a way of being. Some kind of insight is going to come through, or a direction you can take that's going to elevate you and ultimately lead into some new creation or new manifestation or just a new experience in your internal state or external state, so in your reality. And ultimately, when we do the book reading, this is more of a surgical guidance. So expansive guidance is more channeled and comes directly from me, and also is way shower insights. All of that is channeled insight. And the book guidance is more surgical. So when I say expansive and surgical, surgical guidance means that we either already have dealt with an issue, or we know where we're going. We know what the issue or the problem is. We might not need clarity around the situation as much as we need direct steps to take. We need some energies to be revealed, what they really are. If we're in the dark or in the shadows about something, we want real light shed on the situation so that we can move forward in a precise way that is focused and with unshakable certainty. So this is a real precision, and it's surgical in that respect, where it really identifies a certain aspect and helps you to move through whatever that is. So today is going to be one of those more surgical readings. So if this found you, my beautiful collective, something that didn't go the way you expected wasn't a mistake, okay? So this is a collective reading, but it's going to feel personal for a lot of you. For some of you, it might feel more sporadic, like there's some messages here and there. It would behoove you to either get through the whole reading or skip to the end or something to make sure that you get all of the messages here for you, if you are one of those who doesn't like to stay until the end, because there's no guarantee that the messages that are here for you are going to be in the beginning. So if you stay for the entire reading is for you, so you don't have to worry about it, and all of the positive energies that can be found in here and all of the guidance can be applied to your life in some type of way. And so the guides really want me to express that today, because this is the type of reading that is going to give you a new direction or more direction, a defined direction, okay? So it may feel personal, so take what aligns and leave the rest, because what's coming through here is purpose, specifically purpose, and you're about to understand it. All right, so the first card that they had me put here were the Ether Oracle cards, and we've got the book out here, and I'll tell you why, because we're going to do a surgical reading, and that means that we need some book guidance here. So there's something going on in the collective right now, and you know what it is, okay? You know what it is, and we're going to get just some guidance on it, and through this surgical guidance, we're going to have a better idea of how to move forward through whatever this is. So let's go ahead and get them out there. Whoa. Like that is too many. Alright. Okay, I think we got him. Because that is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, here we go. So the first one is Hakshwa. Okay, so I'm not going to waste too much time on the channeling aspect of this message. So we're going to get you some quick channel messages, and then we're going to jump right into the book guidance, because the guides really want me to get you that surgical guidance from the book. Thank you, Most High. All right, so I'm going to tell you a little bit about these cards. So when you see these cards, usually I'm either doing a divine royal reading or something for the capacity of healers and light workers, right? Or I am doing a very precise guidance reading for the collective. So that's when you see these cards come out. So very rarely will you see me use the book with them unless it's divinely guided or, you know, my spiritual team has suggested. So that's what we're doing today. So the channel message that's coming through with this card, and I'm going to let you know that this right here is telling you that you need to use your intuition to not only decipher who is on your side and who isn't in your life, but this can mean that you have an infiltrator or kind of like the Judas bug in your camp, I'm hearing. And so it means that you really need to be looking at people's behaviors and mannerisms, and also assess, you know, just assess their energy, and know that there could be someone in your midst right now who's acting like they are backing you or for you, and they actually do not have your best interest at heart. So I'm going to let you know that that's the channel message coming through. But what's happening here is a situation that felt like a setback, something that didn't work out, something that didn't move forward, or something that changed unexpectedly, and it left you questioning why. Okay, so the book guidance that goes with that, here we'll put the ones that we've gone through down here. All right, so the book guidance that goes with that is Pasha. Okay, so if Huangshan has appeared to you in reverse, unfortunately, you are either being taken advantage of, or at this time, or you are either being taken advantage of at this time or at risk of being taken advantage of at this time. So the weasel holds both the shadow and the light. So I'm going to try and read a little bit slower, guys, because I have some followers and subscribers and viewers who are not in the USA, and they just aren't, maybe they're not in an English speaking country, or just English isn't their first language in general. Okay, and so I'm gonna try and slow it down because I know that I can kind of breeze through these, and I really want to make sure that everyone has a fair chance at making sure that they really get the absorption of this message. So you are either being taken advantage of at this time or at risk of being taken advantage of. The weasel holds both the shadow and the light relative to taking advantage. If Huangshan appears, okay, so if, oh my gosh, if Huangshan appears, I'm going to hold it right side up even though it came up reverse. So you can see that little guy. Looks like he has a cape on. But if Huangshan appears reverse, it is the shadow side. Whoever is taking advantage may even have hidden negative intentions. They may be acting friendly and telling you everything you want to hear, only to stab you in the back later. Huangshan has come into your life with the intention of foiling this occurrence before it happens. He has come to flush out the hidden danger from its underground cover. If Huangshan has appeared in reverse, be very careful who you trust at this time. It is likely that you are relying on someone to act in your best interests when it is a guarantee that they will not. The weasel sends messages of imminent danger to other animals in the animal kingdom. In this case, Huangshan is sending this message to you. Take notice of this warning and heighten your perception. If push comes to shove, trust your instinct and be very stealthy in your approach to the situation. It is important to use keen perception to discern and separate those whom you can trust from those whom you cannot trust in your life. Use the medicine of Huangshan to identify those who are not genuine, so as to prevent yourself injury, as well as to discern and identify those who are genuine, so as to keep them close. So, a powerful message about protecting boundaries, protecting your space, protecting your energy, protecting your peace of mind, and protecting your honor and your self-respect, making sure that you're only allowing people who truly have your best interests at heart in your sphere. Okay, so the hidden truth here, Ogun. So the channel message coming through with Ogun is that the truth beneath this is this wasn't stopping you. No matter what, they weren't ever going to stop you. It was redirecting you in some way. So it leaves you in a better way, even if it turned out to be a blessing in disguise. This was meant to push you forward, not hold you back. All right, so the book message that comes with that is 21. I don't know where that came from. All right, so 21 Ogun, which has also appeared up in the reverse, but I'll hold it right side up so that you can see the picture. And look at that guy. Whoa. It almost looks like a praying mantis horse dragon thing. Okay, so Ogun has appeared to you in reverse because you are stuck in warrior mode unnecessarily. And being stuck in that warrior energy will only inflame a situation that you are trying to quell. Confirmation received. What you are fighting and why you are fighting that thing so hard. Oh, sorry. What are you fighting and why are you fighting that thing so hard? A true warrior only fights a war and is only aggressive when truly necessary. The Ogun tends to appear to people in reverse when they need to lay down their sword. When someone is fighting an invisible war, chances are you are engaging in an external conflict when it is really a part of yourself you are fighting against. Alternatively, you may be at war with a situation because you think it is a repeat of something that has already happened to you. However, in reality, it may simply be that what happened to you is unresolved, and you have now projected this unresolved situation into this current situation, and the people involved are thus fighting a ghost of the past. When Ogun appears in reverse, you are consumed by the fire element. Since water is the element that opposes fire, you could benefit at this time from this element. For example, you could drink more water, bathe in water, eat more water element foods, and bring items such as objects or colors or herbs associated with the water element into your home. What would it take to lay your sword down and take off your armor in this situation? What could be done to create resolve or to bring about what you want without a fight? You have a war to end, but what or who is the war really with? What is it really about? What is the vulnerability? Fear, pain, insecurity underneath the warrior mode, and how could you deal with that vulnerability directly instead of continuing to viciously defend it? Powerful message coming through there. All right, wow. So I can see why they're like, this needs to be very, very surgical, very precise guidance that's coming through here. All right, so what you didn't see, Baphomet coming through, the deeper meaning in this entire situation is you didn't fully see at the time. And what you didn't fully see in this situation was that this situation was showing you something very important about what you need, what you deserve, I'm hearing, and what no longer fits. And that awareness changed your direction. Okay? So the book guidance that comes along with that, Baphomet, is so the chances are high that you are going through a baptism of fire, since Baphomet has appeared to you right side up. Or at the very least facing an ordeal. Baphomet has come to assist you in that difficulty and challenge. Baphomet reminds you that you can use the situation at hand to add to your personal power, your success, your well-being, and self-actualization. You are being encouraged to remember your light and also to master the dark within you so as to actualize your full power and with it your full potential. You cannot truly know what you are capable of unless you are tested. Consider that the universe is not testing you because it assumed or is amused by watching you struggle to prove yourself. The universe may just be testing you so that you discover your free will, so that you know what you are made of, so that you discover your strength, so that you learn something absolutely essential to your future well-being, so that you can actualize your potential, or so that you find your purpose. For example, if Baphomet appears right side up, you currently need confidence. Take time to recognize and acknowledge your abilities, talents, and positive traits. Own up to the things you can do and at which you excel. Take pride in them and give yourself credit for your strengths. Then, when it comes to problem solving the situation at hand, remember to play to your strengths, not your weaknesses. Part of gaining confidence in the situation at hand may be to distance yourself from a person or people who could be currently acting as an obstacle in your path to progress. Also, part of gaining confidence might just be taking a leap. When Baphomet appears to you right side up, it is a strong reminder that you can do anything, that no hardship will break you unless you let it, that no matter how hopeless a situation seems, like a goat, you can climb on top of obstacles. Beautiful. Okay, so, and always land safely on your feet. So climb high without doubting your capabilities and without doubting whether you are strong enough. You are strong enough. And even though it may not make sense at the moment, what is happening in your life right now is happening for you and even potentially for a higher purpose. It is not happening against you, whatever it is. I love that message coming through. And you guys, guess what the next message is next to this? So, Scandu comes up as the next message. And I just love this. And we're obviously about to find out why. But Scandu coming out lets you know what happens if you stay focused on the past. So if you stay focused on what didn't work, right? If you stay connected to the setback, but when you shift into understanding, you start to move with it, right? So if you stay focused on what didn't work, there's no possible way you're not going to stay connected to whatever that setback is. You're going to just, you're going to manifest it because you're going to focus on it and you're going to believe in it and you're going to just give it energy and it's going to come right back around for you because you fed into it, your power, your energy. But when you shift into understanding, you start to move with it. This wasn't meant to keep you stuck. You weren't meant to be suffering with toxic relationships, with untrustworthy people who aren't aligned in your life, with disturbances and chaos, with deceitful or deceiving or sneaky and conniving or destructive and disruptive energies and people in your life. You just weren't meant to. But you are meant to overcome all of these things. And so, through the overcoming of them and through the surmounting of any obstacle in your life, you are being given the chance to not only elevate your being, see a new spiritual awakening and elevation and clear thought and clarity and logical state of mind. I'm hearing a growth oriented abundance mindset. It goes back to that, where you really step into deliberate conscious creation and create the life you love and live in your true nature and purpose, being the predominant creator in your life, living that life of health and vitality and happiness, climbing to new heights, climbing to new heights. And we're going to get you the book message, but that's the channel message coming through with that right now. So let's look in the book. 38 Scandu, leveling up, climbing. I love that. I love the fact that Goat came out with the Baphomet and talking about how you could climb to any heights. And then Scandu comes out, and the medicine behind Scandu is leveling up energy right here, climbing, opportunity, going higher, bigger, or more risk. Okay, so this is bigger, better, a little more risky, but a lot more gain. So this means that you are at an important and favorable point in life. Specifically, a point where you can use your own abilities to achieve greater success. So far, the Scandu has only appeared to human consciousness when a person has reached a point of opportunity or a point where greater heights can be reached. Therefore, you're encouraged to really realize that you are at this important point. Recognize the opportunities that come to you at this time and take them. Seize the opportunity to climb to a greater height. For example, you might know that it's time to take a relationship to the next level, and so move in with your significant other or marry them. Or you might say yes to a trip that will alter the course of your life, or take a financial risk in your business to scale the company. The question is, in the situation you are in, what is the next level? Where does the opportunity exist to go higher, bigger, or further? If nothing immediately comes to mind, then keep your eyes peeled. The Scandu has been known to appear just before an opportunity is made known to you. So when the Scandu appears and does appear, don't sit there thinking about whether to take that opportunity. Just do it. So I love that energy coming through with the climbing and then the climbing to new heights through the acceptance of the opportunity. So something is coming into your life, and they're really trying to give you some surgical guidance here so that you don't misstep, so that you don't accept anything out of alignment, so that you can get some clarity on some situations that have gone before you, so that you know to trust in your capabilities and who you are, and so that you know to accept the opportunities that are coming into your life because they are aligned, okay? So the forward momentum that we want to see is Arqua. Arqua comes to us in reverse. So even though this is in reverse, this is still the momentum. So this is, the energy here is movement. In one way or another, there's movement in the energy here. And you're not being held back. You're being moved forward. Whether you realized it yet or not, it is happening. Wait until you see what this actually leads you toward. Like, wait until you see what this is actually leading you to experience, what it's leading you towards. Because this is where things begin to open up for you. So congratulations. You did the work and you made it kind of through the worst part. I'll say that. This was meant to push you forward now. Okay? So that's the channel message coming through. Let's get the book message. Woo! Give me my book. Okay. The book message coming through is Aqua, release, purge, big life change. Woo! You guys, get rid of all of the tension, all of the grief I'm hearing, the grievances, the resentment, the betrayal, the deceit, the fear, the loss, the worry, the doubt, the blah, 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 the whatever equals the dissatisfaction and sorrow in life. Get rid of all of it, purge it, let it go, release it. Let it fly off the window. However you do it, flush it down the toilet. Okay, bury it in the backyard, bury it in the cemetery. Do whatever you got to do, but just purge it and release it. Okay, this is really that time in our lives. All right, so I'm gonna hold it up so you can kind of see the card, but I'm gonna read it obviously in the way that it came, which was reverse. And ultimately, if this card comes up in reverse, it means you are facing overwhelm. The medicine of the Arukwa has come to help you with that. In what way do you feel overpowered here? What is your relationship with the things in your life experience that feel bigger or stronger than you? That's what this card in reverse is coming through to ask. So now we're going to help you with it. Ultimately, what is your relationship with it? One of the most effective tools for dealing with overwhelm is meditation. It may seem counterintuitive because when you feel overwhelmed, you may be tempted to try to compulsively do things to get out of the overwhelm. However, don't try to do things to distract yourself, procrastinate, or avoid either. Instead, sit down and be totally quiet and present yourself with a deeper relaxation and rest. So what we're going to do is you'll sit down and be totally quiet and present somatically with what is occurring in your internal body. For example, if you feel an unbearable weight in your chest, observe that weight. Feel it. Don't try to change it or do anything with it. Just examine the qualities of that specific weight, as if you were a scientist studying a totally new thing. Let the overwhelm be there. Be with the overwhelm and simply watch what happens to it when you do this. You can do this until you feel the overwhelm has subsided, or you can set a timer and do this for a set period of time. From there, you need to simplify. Take off of your plate or postpone anything that doesn't really need to be focused on at this time. Concentrate only on the things on your list that are the most important. This means you must prioritize. This may mean that you need to cancel or delegate certain things. Organize and simplify things into steps that can be individually focused on to completion. Do not multitask at this time. So we're trying to stay focused on one goal at a time right now, guys, just to build the momentum of continuity and consistency. Confirmation received. Okay? And so do not multitask at this time. Start taking these steps one at a time. In America, there is a saying, don't look at the whole staircase. Just focus on taking the first step. When the Arukwa comes in reverse, this is what you must do. Thinking about the whole picture or the ultimate goal can cause you to feel discouraged and as if it is bigger than you. But the Most High, your guardians, your guides, the infinite, supreme, the greater divine, whatever resonates with you, your archangels, your angels, okay, your ancestors, all of it, all of them, okay? No one wants you to be discouraged or overwhelmed here. And when you have a greater than life mission, a lofty mission that's, even for people with big missions, yours seems to be bigger, or you feel like your life purpose goes above and beyond the expectations of others, then you can get overwhelmed and discouraged. So don't, if you are one of those individuals, please do not focus so wholeheartedly on all that you need to accomplish or all that you want to get done. Okay? We're focusing on step by step by step, and then we're celebrating small wins and acknowledging how far we've come on every step. So I kind of detoured from the book there, but that was a channel message that came through. All right, so ultimately, what we want to do here is we want to make sure that we have that clear vision. So we're just focusing on taking the first step. Thinking about the whole picture or the ultimate goal can cause you to feel discouraged, and nobody wants that. So take one step and then the next, and inevitably you will be in the place where you are wanting to be. Part of this is to stop thinking about the future. Zoom in and focus only on the next 5 minutes or the next hour or the day in front of you. Challenge your assumptions, beliefs, and the meaning you are assigning to whatever is occurring. A big part of overwhelm is what you are mentally adding to an experience. For example, if you get sick and you are adding to that experience the belief, if I'm not there to help others, I won't be needed, and people will question my value, you are bound to become overwhelmed. The painful assumptions, beliefs, and meanings we add to experiences are like kerosene added to a forest fire. On the other hand, once you recognize and challenge the painful assumptions, beliefs, and meanings you are adding to your experience, it will surprise you how many of them are inaccurate. You will find that you can seek and use alternative assumptions, beliefs, and meanings like water to quell a forest fire instead. When a Rukwa appears in reverse, ask yourself the questions: what pressure is being put on me, and what pressure am I putting on myself? What would help me to feel above water instead of in over my head? And these are real questions to ask yourselves right now. So, okay, so with that said, confirmation received. Okay, so they really want us to be asking that question, right? All right, so the next one that comes up is talking heads. The message coming through with talking heads, and it is a powerful message here, is that this wasn't stopping you, it was redirecting you. And what felt like a setback was actually movement. You're not off track, you're being pushed forward. So this is a call for being honest about what didn't work out that now feels like it was meant to. Okay? Powerful channel message there. So let's get that surgical guidance. All right, so, ooh, I got the wrong one. All right, so they are telling you to stop in your tracks and not move forward until you can do so in a conscious way. Stop dead in your tracks. I'm going to say it again. They are telling you to stop in your tracks and not move forward until you can do so in a conscious way. Don't take action. Let the mud settle. Don't get distracted. Instead, focus on the situation at hand using techniques like meditation or shadow work. And we've had a lot of meditation cards coming out here, boy. Check yourself. Caretake your own reactivity instead of giving into your reaction. Admit to and accept the truth of the situation. Face your fears. Gain information. Try to see the situation objectively and understand all elements involved. Play things out before you do them. Be courageous because courage implies growth. Cultivate compassion in the situation and get clear about what you want as well as the most direct way to attain it. Set that intention powerfully. Communicate with other people who can hold you to a standard of consciousness. Essentially, do anything that will enable you to come at this situation from not just a higher perspective, but an integrated perspective. In this situation, if you prove to come at the situation and respond in a conscious way, the ultimate outcome will undoubtedly be good. If you prove to come at it and respond in an unconscious way, the outcome will not be what you desire. Okay? So, our next message, it comes from Shadu. And Shadu teaches us about protecting our boundaries, kind of standing up for ourselves, just really sticking up and standing up for ourselves is what's coming through. Confirmation received in this for me. So that's that channel message. We're gonna go ahead and let that get surgical because I feel there's something big coming through here for you, and we're just gonna let it come right on through. So Shadu, strength, personal power, courage, assertiveness, humility, and mastery over reactivity. Interesting. Very funny that this one just talked about before reacting, and now this one is mastering your power over your reactivity. All right, so I don't see where we're going here. So Shadu comes to you right side up. Look at that. You have a cat like that? So she comes to you as the mascot of strength, a warrior totem. Shadu does not appear unless you find yourself in a threatening situation in your life. Shadu's willingness to fight to the death has earned her a certain kind of immortality. She teaches you to relentlessly take on life's challenges and to never give up or give in. Her presence and power suggests that something that feels too hard to control and even wild is happening in your life. This may be awakening predatory or aggressive feelings within you, directed at someone or something else. And this situation is probably also making it hard to control your emotions. They become a weakness that others can and will exploit. Therefore, if Shadu comes to you, and she has, it is critical to master your emotions in the situation at hand so that you are in a position to respond instead of react. Reacting in this scenario could be disastrous and exactly what will cause you to lose the fight. Because of this, you must, number one, become aware of your emotion. Number two, care about the emotion by seeing it as valid and important, and listen empathetically to it in an attempt to understand the vulnerable personal truth it is carrying. Every emotion is the carrier of a personal truth. Seek to understand why you really feel the way you do. Number three, acknowledge and validate your feelings. This may include finding words to label your emotion. You need to know that it is a valid thing to feel the way that you feel. For example, if the personal truth being carried by your emotion is, I feel useless, validating yourself doesn't mean saying, I'm right, I am useless. Validating yourself means saying, I can totally see how that would make me feel useless, and anyone would feel the same way if they were me. Allow yourself to feel, number four, allow yourself to feel how you feel and to experience your emotion fully before moving toward any kind of improvement. Be with your emotion and the way it feels inside your body, somatically, without trying to fix yourself. Number five, after and only after your feelings have been validated and acknowledged and fully felt, strategize ways to manage the reactions you are having in response to the way this situation is making you feel. So this is the step where you can look for new ways of looking at or approaching or resolving the situation. This is where advice can be sought. Shadu is bringing you 3 things you need right now. Shadu is bringing you, I'll repeat it, 3 things you need right now. Shadu is bringing you personal strength, and you need that right now. Shadu is bringing you courage, and you need that right now, right? Acting in spite of fear. It's okay to have fear. We're trying to act in spite of that. We're not trying to let it incapacitate us, to leave us in stagnant ways or limited beyond our own control. So we're acting in spite of fear. We're acting courageously. We're living in our personal truth, embodying our mastery. And that's the third one that Shadu brings you. Mastery over your reactions. She reminds you that reacting will get you nowhere. You are officially warned about the danger of reactivity mode. This is where your defense mechanisms and protector parts of your consciousness take control of your embodiment. This is the phase in which you tend to succumb to knee-jerk reactions. The way you respond in reactivity mode depends entirely upon the ways that you learned in your childhood to protect yourself. For example, a person who learned the method of denial will begin to deny the entire thing is even happening. A person who learned the method of lying will begin to try and lie to get themselves out of every situation and probably make it even worse. A person who learned that the method of fighting will become aggressive and oppositional. A person who learned that hyper-responsibility kept them safe will begin to blame themselves and obsess over how they could have avoided the accident entirely. How are you currently tempted to react based on your past experiences, is the question here. Reacting in this situation will not do good things for you. Neither will suppressing, denying, rejecting, disowning, or bulldozing your reactions. Instead, you must address the deep insecurity, hurt, fear, and vulnerability that lies beneath your defense mode in order to caretake your reactions and respond correctly in this situation or in situations that are resembling this one moving forward. Shadu wants you to know that you can use any reaction you are having to become aware of the ingredients that are really causing the upset and make your adjustments or plan your responses specifically based on those things that you find. An upset is not here to thwart your progress. An upset is here to enhance your progress. And the correct response to a threat makes you undeniably strong. Okay? Beautiful message. All right, so we've got a couple left. Urdukanda comes up. So I think it's really, really funny because our last 2 cards, like number 1, this is card number 1, right? So the first card in the deck, and then there's 77 cards in this deck, and the last card, I think this is really funny, is card 75. So we're like 2 cards away from the end here. So that was a really, really good shuffle. And obviously the first card, so that's pretty far apart. So we're got a good spread there. So Urdu Kanda, our card number 1. And this is taking a leap of faith. I'm sorry, I was supposed to give you the channel message first. So the channel message in this is taking a leap of faith, going into seeing through the mist, seeing through the haze, seeing through the illusion, seeing through any kind of obstacle that has been thrown at you, surmounting all obstacles, jumping over hurdles, and taking inspired actions towards your goals. So this is taking a leap of faith and trusting that the universe is lining things up and shifting energy and bringing opportunities into you. And so you're being called to take those and to approach those accordingly as they show up. Confirmation received. Okay, so let's get you the surgical message now that we got you the expansive channel message. And we have have one more to do. One more to do. Okay. And then we'll get you some Sovereign Stability Index Oracle cards from my little deck that I made. My big deck that I made. And these will have divine actions and just actions, practical actions for you to take that will get you aligned with wherever you want to be. So these specifically will give you the exact scenario on the card, the integration that you need for the mindset, the action to take, and then the probable prediction based upon whether or not you took that action. So if you do what the card says, you get the probable outcome that the card has displayed. All right. So Urdukanda, right side up. So as Urdukanda has come to you right side up, it is a message from the greater universe that you have what it takes. So take the leap of faith. Okay, so this doesn't say take the leap of faith. I said take the leap of faith. Remember, that was my channel message for you. This is, I just felt it really deeply. I almost felt like I was holding the full card in the tarot. This is really telling you to take the leap of faith. But what the book says is it is a message from the greater universe that you have what it takes. Be smart, but don't be overly cautious. You have the strength and stamina you need to achieve what you want. You simply have to move forward. Beautiful. So that was a really, really short and to the point one, wasn't it? All right. I don't think that might be the shortest one in the book. All right. So 75. I do not know how to say this thing's name for the life of me. Nearly Curvy. I don't know. It seems like it's, I don't know what that is. Anyway, so that's it. And boy is it it's a looker. All right, so 45, 75. Excuse me. I was like 45 there. 77 cards. All right. $75. So it came up in reverse. Lord, this right side up is really, really long. All right, so when Curvy, I don't know how to say it, but when, we'll call it NK. When NK shows up, we'll call it Nikki. When Nikki shows up, it could mean three different things. Either you need to stop avoiding a conflict and address it head on, or number two, you need to get yourself into an attitude of abundance, or number three, abundance is headed your way. So beautiful. It's one of those three things. All right, so we got some fun facts about how to tell if what it is for you, because it's all three of those things in this reading, because this is the collective reading and this is the collective message. So let me tell you how you know if it's what it's for you. All right, so if the meaning of Nilikarivi appearing in reverse is about conflict avoidance, right? That one, that elephant in the room or that fly on the wall that we don't really want to address, right? So if that's you, if the meaning of that appearing is about the conflict avoidance, you will know it. You will know, okay? You will know if that is what this is about for you. And it's okay if that is what this is about for you, because we're going to get you that guidance, right? We're going to send you and get you ready to move forward, because you're supposed to be able to move forward after this. So I hope you can move forward after this. You should at least have a little bit more clarity about what's going on and some practical steps to take here, okay? So I'm going to leave you in a good way here. So if this is about conflict avoidance, if you're avoiding a situation, or you're avoiding standing up for yourself, or you're just avoiding addressing an issue, avoiding conflict in any way, all right, then it can show up like this. But you will know it if that is you. So reading this will make you feel like you've been busted or found out, all right? So so yeah, so if you feel like, oh my gosh, I'm busted, I've been found out, or oh my gosh, I I have been avoiding this. I haven't been standing up for myself. I have been overgiving. I haven't been self expressing. I haven't been communicating my desires successfully. I haven't been standing up for myself. I haven't been honoring my truth. I haven't been honoring my willpower and my free will or my contentment, right? If any of those things ring true for you, then you might feel like you got busted or found out right now. But you have fallen into the poisonous side of this medicine, this energy. And the right thing to do is to directly address and resolve a conflict, whatever this may be. And you are currently avoiding this, okay? This is not for all of you, all right? So just because you're this far into the message, if this part doesn't resonate with you, because this means three things, and we're going to go over all three of them, all right? We're not just picking and choosing, because all three messages are relevant because this is a collective message. So this is just the first one. This is just conflict avoidance. So stay tuned for the other ones. All right. So the right thing to do is to directly address and resolve whatever conflict this is, and you are currently avoiding this. Conflict is inevitable in life. We are all living our lives through individual perspectives, and so we experience differences in opinions, experiences, preferences, and ways of dealing with situations. In this situation, you cannot avoid conflict forever. And in fact, you try to avoid it, you will end up deeper in it. In this situation, you will fail at keeping everyone happy, trying to be nice, trying to conform and fit in, just trying to do things in a way that are not consistent with your authenticity. Trying to pacify everyone and trying not to rock the boat. Ruptures are inevitable in relationships. Okay? So, ruptures are inevitable in relationships. There are going to be those times in any relationship when you just don't see eye to eye, or you mistakenly say something that upsets the other person, or vice versa. What really matters in relationships is not your ability to avoid rupture. In fact, you need to begin to see conflict as an opportunity instead of as a disaster. Conflict is a way to become clear about yourself and your values and beliefs and desires. When conflict arises, including this one, you need to use the conflict to ask yourself, what do I really believe? What do I really want? Why do I really do this thing or say this thing? What do I really think in this situation? And beyond the understanding, it is also an opportunity to take action to line up with your integrity, and by doing so, to give yourself the message, I am going to stand by my own personal truth. This will cause a boost of self-confidence and self-esteem and will lead to self-trust. After all, you're going to be emotionally uncomfortable no matter whether you face the conflict or avoid it. If the meaning of this energy appearing in reverse is about abundance headed your way, all right, number twos. So this is for my number two. So that was the conflict avoidance message, all right? If that resonated, that's okay. If it didn't, that's okay too, because these are for the abundance, my abundance collective. All right. So, in this situation, if it's about abundance headed your way, you don't really need to do anything about it except prioritize abundance. But it would benefit you to get yourself into an attitude of abundance. Okay? So, get out of scarcity-based mindset. Focus on what you can do instead of what you can't do. Have a can-do attitude. Just get out of scarcity-based limitations. Stop looking at how the limitations are in you. This is an abundant universe. So just because you couldn't accomplish something yesterday and there was no way to it and blah, 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 they make new roads and pathways to things every day. The same way that people are doing it in society, the universe is doing it in the ether and in the energy. And so it's not fair for you to talk about where you can't go and what you can't do, because on any given day, the way might be made available to you is the message that's coming through. Oh, I love that. That was a powerful channel message for somebody that needed to hear that right now. So focus on what you can do instead of on what you can't do. Focus on what you do have instead of on what you don't have. Incorporate gratitude focus into your daily practice. Train your mind to look for and focus on possibilities and opportunities. What makes you feel abundant? Surround yourself with other people who have an abundance mindset. Set time aside to do abundance meditations or abundance exercises and especially share your passions and purpose. Just share, right? You don't have to share all your ideas because people steal them. But at the end of the day, and we want to be cultivating germination cycle for our thoughts, which are the seeds that we're planting and hoping to concretize into reality, right? To make material things. And so we want to be protecting our manifestations and energy, but at the same time, we want to be sharing so that there's a reciprocity of abundance in our universal sphere and in the atmosphere and in the field and in the energy that we are emitting and externalizing in the universe. So ultimately, train your mind to look for and focus on possibilities and opportunities. Set time aside to do abundance meditations or abundance exercises. It's really important to do this, right? Even if it's the 17-second focus on my desire, or writing the 3-6-9 thing where we write, our affirmation 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and then 9 times at night, or our goals and desires. So any of these are abundance techniques, and I have a whole lot of them, but those are just 2 off the top of my head. And work on any blockages and resistance that you may have to abundance, right? Work on your money blocks. Work on your love and relationship blocks if that's what you're desiring and it's an obstacle for you. Abundance comes in many forms, so you're being called to remember that as well. You have an abundance of relationships. You have an abundance of health. You have an abundance of wealth. You have an abundance of spiritual awakening and enlightenment, an abundance of knowledge and intelligence, an abundance of cookies, okay? An abundance of crumbs, an abundance of cards, an abundance of videos, right? And so really get clear on the abundance that you want in your life and then start putting yourself in circumstances, situations, focusing on the thoughts, visualizations, expanding your mental capacity and your state of being into that frequency and that vibration. And then ultimately aligning yourself with the relationships that go with the same. While you're working on any blockages and resistance that you may have to whatever level of abundance you are seeking. And also, if this has appeared, there is great abundance that is trying to get through to you. So this is also about allowing abundance to come to you on all levels. I love that. So we're going to get you just a few. I was going to pull some tarot cards, but they're already at an hour mark here, and I want to get this uploaded for you guys. And it's just a long reading, and you guys don't ever stay for the whole thing. And so, eventually I know that people will. And these are timeless messages. So I do want to say, if you are still in this reading, this entire reading is for you. You can take all of this guidance and apply it to your life and just elevate your life and go be great in life, because I want to see you do the best that you can be and experience the best that life can get, right? And so let's get you some actions to get you there. So calling in the archangels, angels, the most high, source, God, and heavenly, omnipotent, omnibenevolent, heavenly Father, absolutes in this place and time. Show me the messages that want to come through from the greater divine to help the collective move forward at this time in their lives. We're going to cut these 3 times, and we're going to take them right off the top. We'll take 7. So that'll give you 7 actions, 7 divine actions from your spiritual team and the Most High, Source, and the Greater Divine. And these will be what will help you move forward and just help you to surmount any obstacles or to elevate yourself and to have the best, highest aligned experience in life. We said we're taking the top 7, so let's have them. Number 1, you are learning strategy. Impulse is being replaced by foresight. impulse is being replaced by foresight. So you're being called, the action that you're going to take is to plan beyond the immediate. So look into the future. This is you focusing on the long term and creating a real vision. And that vision is going to prevent waste, and the efficiency level will rise. Okay? So your efficiency is already rising, and planning beyond the immediate will help you along those lines. So your effort is being noticed, whatever capacity that is. Just know that people are waking up to who you are, what you're doing. They're starting to take notice of the credibility that you truly have. They are starting to notice that you are actually top notch. You are actually, I'm hearing, you know your shit. I love that. So just know that you need to be maintaining your standards right now. You need to maintain your standards in all of your actions. Maintain your standards, because people are watching the way that you do things, and they are taking notice, and they are also taking notes. So just know that. And this consistency is attracting new opportunities into you, and elevation is occurring in your life. Beautiful. And also, okay, so if these things aren't happening, let me clarify. When I say, when we come up here and we have the card, right? And I put the card up here and we have the little A right there. Well, the A is the action for you to take, and this P is the probable outcome. So if we do the A on the card, we get the P on the card. See how that works? And so it doesn't matter if it's not true for you yet. If you do the A, you get the P. All right? So if you do the action, you get the prediction. In other words. All right. So elevation is occurring. All right. What's the next one? This one is stability is becoming your baseline. So you're becoming way more stable. You're protecting your calm. You're being called to keep protecting your calm. Keep identifying things that are disruptive or chaotic. Keep sifting through. I'm hearing filtering out the things that are not aligned with what you want and how your desires in this life. And this consistency is reinforcing your peace. So your equilibrium is sustaining, or your equilibrium sustains if you protect your calm. So just make sure that you're doing all the things you can to protect your calm, protect your peace, get rid of those toxic people, persons, places, things, any energy. I'm hearing any energy in the mind, in the body, or just in your life in general that is of a negative nature and that is causing any anxiety, heart palpitations, you name it, okay, any kind of aches, pains, or anxiety, anxiousness, uncomfortability, discomfort, dissatisfaction, grievances, confusion, or paranoia, or any of the things. Get rid of anything that does that, because that shows that it's messing with your vibration. That's what that means when you start feeling that way and things are messing. Something is messing with your energy. People, those are bad vibes, right? Oh, I didn't want to go over there because I got a bad vibe. Well, what's a bad vibe? That's a bad vibration. And so those are those kinds of energies. So something you ask for is near, and the requests have momentum. So this is that opportunity that's coming in. Keep your eyes peeled because it's on the way, right? We already know that. You wouldn't have got the opportunity cards here if something wasn't on the way. And they're trying to give you this really precise guidance to make sure that you don't sabotage it or undercut yourself because you are fearing and doubting or attached to old narratives and outcomes that have no real credibility in your experience anymore. So clear space physically or emotionally. That means get rid of anything that is emotionally weighing you down or keeping you in a lower vibration or making you doubt and worry and fear that it's not going to work out for you, and clear out any clutter or physical space that is going to take up the space needed for it to come into your life. All right, so this space will signal that you're ready to the universe. Space signals readiness. So that means that once you clear this space mentally, emotionally, physically, you will be already sending out the beacon and the signal to the universe that we are ready for this new manifestation to come in. And manifestation enters once what? Capacity exists. So once you are emotionally capable of accepting more, you know, you can accept more you can pour more into your cup essentially, and you have created the physical space for whatever it is to come in, or the mental space. You've just created space internally and externally, and it will manifest in your life. All right. So strategic effort compounds returns. So strategize all you do. Focus your energy and make sure that all of your energy, whether that be your money, your time, your thoughts, your interactions, your relationships, wherever you're putting your energy, make sure that that energy is focused and working for you in one way or one way or the other. Whether that's building into your skills, building into your relationships, building into your health, building into your wealth, building into your spirituality, building into your mental capabilities, building into your fulfillment in life. Just make sure that you're putting action and focus into where you truly want precision to grow and increase in your life. What happens? Well, precision will increase and gains will multiply. So, our next one is your vision requires repetition. So just because you saw it once, or right, like think about the way that we do and use subliminals, right? Yeah, like you don't just listen to a subliminal one time and oh, we're good now. Let's go win the lottery. No, you have to do it over and over and over and over and over again. And sometimes it might not even work if it's not aligned, right? If you're not aligned with it, and it's not, and you just have your beliefs are in the toilet, or you just need a new set of beliefs, or you have old foggy thoughts and belief systems that are non-beneficial running in your program, well then it doesn't matter how much vision or how much repetition you have, you're never going to allow it to come into your life. And so this is where you have fixed the beliefs, you worked on your central nervous system, you've done all the somatic things that can help you out with the internal vibration and ultimately manifesting a different reality for yourself. But ultimately, what it is don't lose sight of the vision, and make sure that you keep replaying that vision in your mind and keep that in the forethought as you move inspired through your days, taking inspired action towards your goals. So your identity will align as you repeat this vision to yourself. This will reinforce your goal, and your results will compound exponentially, right? The more you step into that vision with 3 of your senses, the more that you step into being it before you see it, the more you act as if, and the more you take inspired action towards your goals, the more you're going to see results compound in your life. Now, how many is that? That is 6. We need one more. Your past is no longer your prediction. And what a great last one. Your past is no longer your prediction. And it goes right here with, where are we? Right here. So these two kind of go together, because this is showing you that you need to clear the space and get ready for whatever this opportunity or this different thing that you never had before is coming into your life. And this one lets you know that past is no longer your prediction. So you need to let go of the old narrative that whatever you want to come into your life isn't going to stay or isn't going to work out for you. And so it's a really big message coming through here that we're getting out of our own way, right? We are releasing the limiting beliefs. We're releasing the scarcity-based mindset. We're incorporating an abundance, growth-oriented mindset. We're releasing the how. We're releasing the how of how it's all going to happen and pan out. We're realizing that even some of the not so impressive things and experiences that we've had in this life were actually for our benefit and to help move us forward and propel us forward into a higher aligned timeline where we are more fulfilled and emotionally stable and financially secure, and we have time freedom, and we can express ourselves to individuals who are mutually beneficial relationships and soul aligned partnerships that we have in our life. And this shows me that you're aligning with it, because your past no longer has no longer is your prediction. Okay, your past is no longer your prediction. And so history is reference, not destiny. Okay? So history is reference, not destiny. And stop narrating old disappointments. Stop letting them take up rent in your mind, or stop letting them take up space in your mind rent free. Stop letting them replay. Stop letting them rerun in your mind. Stop replaying the elements and stop trying to make new scenarios and outcomes for a situation that's passed, over, and done with. Stop giving your energy to something that is no longer supporting or giving you any kind of residual reciprocation that is leaving you feeling depleted and ultimately dysfunctional or overwhelmed and anxious, having anxiety, having depression, having sadness, having anger, having resentment, having grief. No, it's time to release all of these things and understand that if we give that our attention to these things, we're taking our attention away from our own fulfillment and happiness. And we're ultimately not allowing what is ultimately meant to fulfill us and make us happy to come into our experience in this life. And so the self-concept will rewrite future probability. Remember that. So if you can rewrite the concept of yourself, give yourself a new self-identity, start talking to yourself as though you're capable, as though you're good enough, as though you're worthy, knowing that this is true. It is true. You are good enough. You are worthy. You are capable. You belong. You don't have to be perfect, okay? In fact, it's better that you aren't, because that means you can grow into more than you are. Did you know that? You don't want to be perfect, because perfect things don't get better, okay? You want to be imperfect because imperfection means you can grow into more than you were before. If you grow into perfection, you got to stop there. So we don't ever want to stop growing and expanding and being the best that we can be. And so we don't ever want to harp on perfectionism, because perfectionism is imperfectionism in a human. And so at the end of the day, we want to be perfectly imperfect. And we want to be expansively expanding through our capacity and capabilities, while we're understanding that we are worthy, we belong, and we are more than good enough to do it all. So that's a very powerful message coming through. The new outcomes become statistically likely for you if you do everything in this reading. If you are in the end of this reading, congratulations on your new life, on your new identity, on all that you went through, on the guidance that's coming through for you, on the abundance that's coming through. Congratulations, because I know that some of you have been in that conflict avoid mode, but we're not going to be in that anymore. So this might be the clarity that you needed to stand up for yourself or do whatever is the best for you, so that the best can start coming to you. So new outcomes become statistically likely for you, and we're going to get the future read here in a second. But first, because I always put them together and I get whatever it's trying to tell you is coming into your future. I'll show you how we do that here in a second. But right now, what they want me to say to you guys is that you have the capacity to change your life at any point in time. But to change your life, you have to change your life. So it can't be from a place of just wanting or thinking about it. You have to think about it, visualize it, concentrate on it, as in try to figure out what those steps would be. Take inspired action in that list of steps. Be positive, stay positive and optimistic while you stay silent, and kind of keep it hush hush, these new manifestations for yourself, so that they have time to germinate and really sprout like seeds in the real fertile soil of your mind and in your energy and in your optimistic and positive faith and belief. Okay, so that's a strong message coming through for someone or for you all. And ultimately, what is it saying? What is it saying now? What is it saying now? So it's saying that success is compounding, right? Success and motivation are compounding. So this is where we get the future action. In the future, success and motivation will compound, as will results. Your gains will multiply as your efficiency rises. and new outcomes become statistically likely. While elevation occurs, equilibrium sustains, and new manifestations enter once capacity exists. So that is your future prediction. All right. So there you got it. There you have it, my loves. Thank you so much for being in this reading with me. I know that it was a long one, but my spiritual team, your spiritual team, the Most High, guardians, guides, archangels, angels, the higher vibrational infinite beings of light who walk with all of us, okay, have specifically, trying to put those back where they belong, have specifically asked for this long kind of surgical reading, like I said, where we do it from the book with the ether creatures, because it gives you a different kind of guidance that is tailor made to so many of you. There's so many of you out there who could benefit from this message. So I hope that you will all afford yourself the opportunity to see it in its totality and truly absorb the fundamental and divine messages that were bestowed upon you here today. Other than that, if you're not a subscriber, do please consider subscribing. We would love to have you around as always. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me and just letting me read your energy and give back some of the energy that you all emit and project onto me so that I can do these readings for you and give you accurate guidance and information. So just thank you for trusting me with that, and thank you for being in this space with me. I'm eternally grateful. I love you all unconditionally, and I send you nothing but the highest vibrations and all of my light, my love, and my blessings. And I will see you in my next